Alright, hey everyone, I'm Swordsman Kirby, and we're about to get underway with this winner's bracket match between Grample and Cyril. Two top Kirby 64 runners, so just for some context, Grample is currently 4th on the leaderboards with a 108.39, and Cyril is in 5th with a 109.04. So very close PBs, so I think that could be anyone's match. Alright, and we're off. Alright, so right at the very beginning, you'll see both of them use single fire. Basically, it's alternating between using the fire and doing the inputs for a puff over and over and over again in such a way that you preserve height as best possible. So, in terms of I guess maybe a little bit of the history between these runners, Cyril's been running this game actually on and off for many years now. I think Cyril's first runs were, I think, maybe in 2011 or definitely by 2012. A long history of this. I believe Grample started in 2018, so relatively new, but right now their PBs are quite close to each other, so this should be hopefully an entertaining race. So just pretty straightforward stuff with Waddle Dee. Just using the fireworks and then throwing the ability or the power star to do double damage. So both of them are pretty close, pretty standard 1-1s for both of them. The name of the game for 100% is collecting all the shards to unlock the true final boss. And in order to do that, as you saw for the second shard in the previous level, there is sometimes the need to switch to different powers. Oh yeah, Cyril's timer reset. Right now the game feeds are synced up, so hopefully it shouldn't be a problem. I think if there are any issues, we can always retime it afterwards. Hey, who dis? Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any huge divergence in strats between these two runners, especially early on in World 1. Alright, time for the first luck-dependent part. Cyril has a little bit of an edge here, but in between different groups, so there's effectively 3 phases of drawings that Adeline, the girl in the background, draws. We'll see what she does in between phases. If she waves her brush or sort of stares at you without ducking back behind the easel, then it loses a bit of time. Alright, Cyril getting the paintbrush. Grample getting getting no brush, so saves a little bit of time. Over Cyril there. Alright, I think they broke even with each other for Adeline luck. Okay, Cyril's timer is having a bunch of problems. We'll just go with Grample's time. It was synced at the beginning, hopefully no stream issues from here on out. Yeah, just end the run at like 1 minute 30 seconds. Okay, a little bit of a strat divergence there on the staircase. Ooh, Grample dropping the fire a little bit. Uh-oh. Oh no, he lost fire. This is going to be a big time loss for Grample. The way that you lose your power in this game is to get hit twice in relatively quick succession. Okay, Grample going a little bit early with the double cutter there. Doesn't really matter since he didn't have fire anyways. But luckily for Grample, he wasn't going to keep fire for that much longer, but Cyril is building like maybe like a 5-second lead at this point. So since Cyril is such an old school runner, I think that we might be seeing some different strats later on between the two runners. And we'll see exactly how Cyril approaches this fight right here. Okay, so Cyril will not wait there. Meanwhile, Grample is going to go for the slightly luck dependent strat and gets good luck. Basically, the second phase, if Deity jumps into the air, will save a little bit of time because that's where he starts the second phase. So Grample did catch up just a little bit on that Deity fight. So I think with good luck, both runners can get a sub-7 World 1. Some luck here, depending on exactly how the Wispy Juniors jump around. I think Cyril did a little bit better there. Okay, both runners got apples, and also Grample got a puff. So this is the worst luck. You want to see Wispy will alternate between apples and roots. You want to see roots. And in between those different attacks, Wispy can also puff. And so seeing an extra set of apples is 4 seconds, and each puff is an additional 1 second. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Cyril's timer. Man, 8-second World 2. Yeah, so what you're seeing here is just sort of general double fire movement. There isn't too much of it in the 100% run. Just, I guess, going over the history a little bit. Double fire was first observed to be like one of the best movement powers. It's one of the few powers that even gives you anything faster than running speed. But over time, people managed to incorporate the more difficult single fire into the run. But it does live on in 2 places in the run. One here, essentially for taking care of the Wispy fight. That's why we get double fire. And we'll see it a little bit later on. But the way that works is just press B, last 3 seconds, and then there's like a long recovery. So there's definitely some careful routing that needs to go into double fire movement. So here on the auto-scroller phase stage, Cyril is still holding on to a couple seconds lead over Grample. Still quite early on. Still got like an hour of the run left. But one of the first sort of scary parts of the run is going to be coming up soon. We'll see how risky these runners take it. But basically there's a Sparky enemy that jumps around at randomly. And you definitely need to combine that spark with the stone that they currently have. If they miss, they have to restart the entire level again, because there's no stone enemy in this last room of the stage. Just jumping up and down these slopes. Oh, okay, Sarah taking a little bit slow. Okay, Grample unfortunately damage boosted himself the wrong way, but got a little bit better of a pattern. You want Sparky to jump towards you, not just because it's like closer when you go to backtrack, but also because the way that Sparky moves is going to be a little bit more, I would say, predictable because it's closer to you. So I think Grample's getting knocked back by the damage, combined with his better luck, probably canceled out here. The technique that both of them were going for was basically if you try to pull out your power, but it gets interrupted by something, either taking damage, going through a screen transition, so on and so forth. What would happen is that instead of Kirby holding the power star above his head, like what you see in Sarah's screen, it goes straight into Kirby's mouth. And generally speaking, spitting the power star out of your mouth is faster than throwing it. So that's why they take the damage there. Grample sliding off that ledge but floating up to avoid the Sparky. Okay, both of those runners squeezing into fire there. Okay, interesting. Grample dropping down there while Sarah goes around the platform. I believe the ladder might be a little bit faster. Okay. So Grample doing, like this is a couple years old. This Grample doing this the newer route for this room. Like when I say newer, this is like a 5-year-old strat versus something older. But managing to clear those cap bars without taking damage. Well, Cyril did get hit. Okay, so at this point, what they want to do is that they want to get the ice. So Grample, I think, missed the damage off of that bouncy enemy, while Cyril electing to not even try to go for the damage. Here comes our first deity section. We'll see if the runners can get around this fire enemy. Okay. Cyril getting past, but needing to do a little bit of a ledge grab. So Grample is slowly making up time over Cyril in 2-2. 2-2, I would say, is one of the trickier stages early on in the game. Let's say like the first 2 worlds. Right, so it's like maybe less than 2 seconds of a difference now. Nice, Grample getting a card there. One of the, I guess, like weird things about 100% in this game, and sort of similar, like Kirby games back then, that they would purposely make some collectible, like the only way that you would be able to get it is to come in with something you can't get in that stage. So for example, you can't get stone in the first room of this level, so you have to come in from a different stage. So there is a little bit of backtracking. What both runners are using right now is curling stone. And the way that works is that you start it up and you get some fast boost of speed, and then you're slowly decelerating. So whatever friction from the curling stone is just gradually slowing it down. Unfortunately, Grample bonked off a corner of a block, which is this weird kind of glitch that can happen. Just really annoying and frustrating to deal with. This is a relatively new idea, so I wouldn't be surprised if the runners had different curling stone routes here. So we're going a little bit, going for the easier star block curling stone route. As you can see on Grample's screen right there, he didn't get into running speed before doing curling stone, so it actually didn't give nearly as big of a boost. Kind of the tricky part about using curling stone is that in order to get the most out of the boost, you want to be going in and out of curling stone. And to do that, you know, going in and out and then needing to do a dash input in between curling stone uses. And what you saw on both runners' screens is that curling stone, being a rock, sinks really fast, and that's pretty much, you know, all the reason why you get curling stone in the stage, for this stage. Yeah. Cyril's older strats are showing here. It doesn't really matter. You're just swimming up. But later on, runners found out that you can actually just avoid all those spine pieces or whatever by just hugging the left side of the room. Okay, Cyril made up some time. I think Grample had a really rough first room with curling stone, but the rest of it was pretty good. Okay, this might be kind of scary. First off, what both runners are going to do is this float reset. Basically, there's this long elevator section. And one of the mechanics in this game is that Kirby actually has a limited amount of air. So what you'll see both runners doing is take damage off of these wall shots out twice in order to make it up all the way without waiting for the elevator. Both runners came in with enough health, so it wasn't a big deal. They can heal up later if they want to, and I suspect that both of them probably will. This strat right here is called Task Block. Okay, Grample, unfortunately, not getting the fastest cycle, while Cyril gets through it just fine. The fastest cycle, so Grample's gonna need to float. Oh! Okay, that was scary for a second on Grample's screen. Basically, there's one fast cycle that you can get with those moving platform patterns. Anything else comes out to like at least 8 seconds slower. Yeah, both runners healing here. So the way that Cyril combined for double spark, I think you're going to see something different on Grample's screen. Ooh, unfortunately taking damage there. I don't think that this is really... yeah, that's what I thought that was going to happen. Unfortunately, Grample's only going to be able to enter the boss fight with single spark. Oh, I see. Okay, so Cyril's timer was his split timer. Let me ping them the helper. Alright. Hopefully that should be fixed soon. Cyril getting all 4 hits from the what I call a spinny pattern when they're all bunched up together. The reason why it's nice to have something like double spark. Oh, unfortunately, Grample spitting out the projectiles into each other. This is going to be rough for Grample. Did Cyril not turn off their alert? Okay, so the timer is fixed. Yeah, Grample was already at a disadvantage by only having a single spark. And now Cyril's built up quite a lead, but still I would say anything can happen. But it's even at this point it's still quite early. Okay, Cyril's making his way to a mini boss using this ice and bomb power combo. Not the greatest for attack, but you'll see on Grample's screen that he's going to be combining for ice and bomb coming up here. Basically, you go just fast enough to beat the penguin over, but not too fast that the penguin despawns, so the penguin will run actually all the way across the screen. This saves 1 second overtaking the penguin. But both runners got it, so both safe from that. Okay, both runners having a pretty standard 3-1. Yeah, like I said, the 2-4 combined with the boss for World 2 was pretty rough for Grample, so got quite a bit to catch up on right now. But you know, even like variation in luck, like this lead is definitely not safe. Okay, so the whole point of the beginning of 3-2 is to combine for this volcano power. We'll see how Cyril approaches this. Okay, Cyril does the newer strat where you take out the double star right there. Now onto the river auto scroller. Okay, Grample going for the same strat, gets in time. And onto the river auto scroller for Grample as well. Not much to say here, just a couple jumps that can speed up the boat. Yeah, lots of crabs in this stage. The whole idea behind inhaling the crab was just to avoid face planting. Different Kirby games implement in different ways, but in this game, taking a face plant from falling too high is pretty costly. So having the crab in your mouth really helps for that. You can't face plant while you're in Fat Kirby mode. Okay, Sarah's just gonna float up here. So, unfortunately, just coming just a little bit short on the platforms, but gets through it without taking damage. Getting hit by those spiky logs, called splinters, can be really, really costly. They essentially combo you as you fall down. Alright, so Cyril's now on the infamous 3-3, where we're going to see Rick shortly. Alright, Grample having a pretty good climb as well. A little bit faster of a route using the fire. Ooh, Sarah almost falling off there. You do have to inhale the enemy in a certain way so you don't fall in the water. That was getting really close to the edge. Okay, Sarah trying to inhale and having it, or sorry, swallow and having it interrupted by the screen transition. Okay, I respect the patience that Sarah had for those moving platforms. Yeah, Grample tried doing the same thing but didn't get it off in time, so he just walked through it with it in his mouth. Yeah, we can start polling for Rick guesses. Oh god, never seen anyone go for that particular enemy. Okay. Soon. First try, unbelievable. So there's a 1 in 6. There are 6 different animal friends you can get. Essentially no repeats, so getting it first try is quite lucky. And I'm gonna guess that Grample's gonna get 2. Nope, unfortunately I'm wrong. Six. Dang, that's that's rough. Each try takes about a second and a half, so that's like 8 to 9 seconds. Alright, Cyril's going for what is probably the actually faster way of holding this fish above your head closer to the ceiling. It's a really, really nice throw. Basically getting that perfect line to the screen transition. I'm gonna try to estimate the lead differential right now. Yeah, not much to say about this water level. Just a couple of optimizations here and there. See, Grample taking a lower route. The issue is that you will take 1 damage, but I would say that it's actually the safer way to go. Okay, Grample is currently 43 seconds behind or so. So quite a lot to make up, but you know, race isn't over yet. Anything can happen. So we're going for some of these underwater slides. These rocks are random, so sometimes they might interfere with your movement, but I think the luck that you got there was pretty good. Okay, Grample playing a little bit safe on the fish boss, preferring to stay a little bit longer in that hole in the ceiling. Unfortunately, Grample getting caught between the Gordo and those rocks. Sometimes the pattern that the rocks come out, unavoidable damage. And it's kind of scary in that particular room because there's a current pushing you forward the entire time. Let's see, what kind of luck does Sarah will get on the second phase. First phase, if I recall correctly, was kind of... Alright, Sarah gets bad luck on the second phase. The best thing to do is to wait for Acro to come around the bottom. Grample getting really good luck on the first phase. Basically, you want Acro to be as close to the ground when you get that 6th hit. Grample's was like pretty much right at the floor, while Cyril's was sort of in the middle of the screen. Alright, 4-1. I'm not sure if Cyril goes for the fast strat in 4-1. We'll see. But just some clean powerless movement at the beginning. Alright, Grample getting basically perfect luck on Acro. Definitely will save some time on Cyril here. Enough time to also get Fat Kirby. Like, your hitbox is a little bit bigger, so you touch the shard just a little bit sooner. I think Grample probably saved like maybe 4 or 5 seconds over Cyril. Alright, let's see what Cyril does. Oh, Cyril gets bumped into the vine. Going to get the standard cycle here. And the gauntlet. There's a little bit of scariness comes to this room. Oh, I think Cyril probably jumped off a little bit too early, but this is just his route. Okay, Grample also getting caught up by that second vine. I don't think, yeah, Grample is not going to get this cycle either. Alright, Sorrow going pretty cautiously to pick up that stone enemy. Generally speaking, I would say that Sorrow's played kind of conservatively throughout this race so far. Like, no real risk-taking going on. Oh, Grample dropping a single fire there. Yeah, Grample able to end that little fire section with a puff. Meanwhile, Sorrow just like dropped down. If you don't do the puff after single fire, you have this like sort of awkward, oh, the glitch bomb. Sorrow. That one just hurts. Like you do grab the shard and it's okay, but taking the damage just feels so, so unfair. Alright, about a 45-second lead for Sorrow right now. I think Sorrow had a better 4-1, even though Grample had the better luck on Acro. So I think that sort of canceled out. Alright, Grample able to get the shard cleanly. Yeah, it's just some weird, I think some weird hitbox thing where just the angle of the minecart and the shape of that block just collide in just the wrong way. Sorrow sort of making sure that he got the setup for the dynamite. If you throw the dynamite in the wrong way, kind of... Oh, unfortunately, I think, yeah, Sorrow did not get the cleanest mini-boss there. But luckily that last enemy spawned in a favorable position. The mini-boss there's essentially 4 waves of 6 enemies. And if you throw your dynamite right, and they're all in a favorable position, you can just throw one dynamite to take care of each wave. Unfortunately, Sorrow let one of them stay on screen. Maybe just went a little bit too early. Caused one of the waves to be kind of delayed. Grample playing a little bit riskier here, jumping into the dynamite and taking damage, but it's all okay because of the Maxim tomato. Kind of curious about the way that Sorrow's going to pick up Curling Stone right here. Nope, the safe way. So there's a little bit of a pause that Sorrow has there. But at the same time, he knows he's not going to miss the spit. Yeah, one curious difference between the English and the Japanese version. The food. The Japanese version, a lot of the foods is rice balls, but they've been taking on the English version for the most part. Okay, Grample also going for a safer combine for Curling Stone. So we're getting the best pattern here, top hat. It's the easiest pattern to make because you just don't really need to break that many blocks. We'll see what Grample gets in a sec. Yeah, that fixed fight really hurt Grample. I think he's been just playing catch up ever since. Okay, so doing some newer Curling Stone route. Wasn't expecting that. Really nice Curling Stone movement to end 4-3. Both runners getting top hat there. Ooh, Grample ledge grabbing. A weird gap there. That is unfortunate. So I think Cyril's lead has grown a little bit here. Yeah, right now it's sitting at about 46 seconds. But I just have to say that the final boss sequence has a potentially bigger swing. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, plenty of opportunities for Grample to catch up. That's definitely not over yet. Yeah, so the whole reason for getting Curling Stone, the runners need to keep it until this one particular room in this stage. A block that requires ice to break. So of course, being in a volcano, you're not going to find any ice enemies here. Start having a pretty clean DD section. So I think, generally speaking, he's been playing pretty solidly. Oh, slow Curling Stone there. Grample going for the damage boost. I don't know what you call it, but basically using the damage to cancel the animation. Alright, Cyril using Shin Kuribo's double fire strat. there are so many fire enemies to choose from. This level is just full of them. But I think people had different ideas about how to get double fire after dispensing with Curling Stone. Grample, meanwhile, using the two enemies on the ground to get double fire. Okay, Starro needs to combine for Fire Sword off of one of these random gets good luck, gets one nearby immediately. We'll see what kind of luck he gets. Alright, gets a good pattern for the first phase. Basically, you want to see this four pillar pattern. Alright. Starro getting, this one's not that big of a deal. I wonder if that was even intentional. I don't know. Okay, Grample safely combining for Fire Sword as well. I'd say that Starro got the worst of the good pattern. Oh, unfortunately, Grample getting bad luck on this first phase. Yeah, getting just the worst pattern. So there's this one thing that can happen with the pattern that Grample got, which is that the game could crash. And we don't really know exactly why it is, but I think it's like kind of superstition that you hold your sword vertically. And I don't think I've seen anyone crash the game that way for the last hit. Grample getting the same pattern as Starro did for the second phase. Manages to, I don't know. I would say that Starro probably still had the better fight there. Yeah. The luck so far has definitely been on Starro's side. Yeah, welcome everyone from SpeedGaming. So some of the most crucial luck components in the run are still ahead of us. Okay, Daryl going a little bit safe mini boss there, but managed to kill the mini boss before it got a chance to do its second attack. Right, one of the kind of annoying sections, most annoying sections of the run, Daryl's like the underwater section of 5-1. Quite annoying. See how it goes. Daryl's rising here. Manages, gets a headbutt, but then takes damage at the enemy. Okay, Grample, right then it was right there. It was kind of scary because it is possible to get comboed by the mini boss in such a way that you lose your power. Luckily, Grample just managed to do a fire as an enemy was falling on top of him. Otherwise, that could have been rough. Yeah, losing fire here would be really, really unfortunate. Yeah, Grample landed on the ground inside the tunnel, causing him to swim upwards as he comes out of the fire. So it's kind of like fire canceling, but basically you just want to swim after doing the fire underwater. Yeah, Grample just electing to take damage off that Gordo to just power through that propeller enemy. Yeah, Grample's just gonna just alternate between floating up and using fire here. Just avoid all the enemies. Yeah, right now I think the lead is around 50 seconds. So I think Cyril's consistent and safe play has really been winning him the race so far. But we'll see how this how this level turns out. So similar to earlier in the run, there's a random Sparky that needs to be dealt with. Grample going for this strat called the perfect line. Unfortunately got held up by one of the blocks. Yeah, Cyril's gonna need to respawn that Sparky because it just immediately jumped off, but manages to get it the second time around. So. No big deal. Yeah, Grample says his splitter is probably on, probably dying, so. He told me before the race, just make sure that the audio is on Cyril the entire time. Okay, so Grample's gonna wait here. No risk to be taken here. Not worth it at this point. So, better luck than Cyril. Gain a little bit of time on that luck. Route that a lot of the Japanese runners like to use, and go up top there. The way that Cyril is going into the elevators, jumping into as close to but not past the halfway point of that elevator. I think Grandpa will do that a little bit differently. Oop, Cyril's slipping there a little bit. Oh, Grapple is actually... Oh! Fortunate there. Luckily that was just right at the beginning of that room. The room is pretty long, but luckily that Grapple didn't die any further into that room. Man, Cyril getting quite bad luck on this. But as you can see, Grapple is sliding into the elevators. If it's not the fastest, it's definitely the most consistent way of getting a good elevator movement. For example, going through these kick enemies a little bit differently, puffing into them, and staying at the bottom. Okay, at least Grample doesn't need to worry about the health situation when it comes to taking these damage boosts. Unfortunately, Cyril, twice now. Not falling quickly enough with the drill. Okay, let's see what kind of luck Grample gets. Slightly better. Cyril had to push down the orange switch. Meanwhile, Grample, the last one was just lemon, the yellow switch. Yeah, unfortunately, Grample getting tripped up by the drill usage in kind of a different way than Cyril. All right, we'll see how the runners take care of this final DED room here. Alright, so we're going through it pretty smoothly so far. I think that will be all that Cyril goes for in terms of these strats here. Oh! Getting comboed by the Gordo a little bit. Gonna wait this one out here. So I believe that comes out to 3 cycles skipped. Start doing the strat where you hold it in your mouth the entire time, so you don't spend the animation of putting it, of swallowing it. Definitely trickier to do, but I think you got to do it just fine. Alright, that's a new idea there. Oh. Grample, I think, also losing a cycle there. Yeah, I think Grample's just gonna play it safe, just like with the Spark. But lightsaber is quite awkward to use, so like basically you need to like jump into the mini boss a couple times with the lightsaber anyways. So best to try to fall to the ground as quickly as possible. Alright, Grample going to the other side, because that enemy hasn't spawned yet, so it's guaranteed that it'll pop up as you move to the right. Alright, Zero getting clapped there. What, 4 cycles so far? That's 6 for Sarah. Didn't see if there was one at the beginning. We'll see how Grample does shortly. Oh! Getting snipped. Oh, unfortunately, Grample was trying to inhale the enemy while he got hit. So unfortunately, the enemy broke. So I think Cyril is actually only like maybe 15 seconds behind PB or so right now. Alright, Grample starts off with a clap. You get 4 hits off of this, 6 hits in total. 2 attacks allow you to hit him, 2 don't. Huh, interesting. Wow. 4 cycle for Grample, so that should be like I think about like maybe 7 seconds saved over Cyril's pattern. Unfortunately, Grample getting the worst pattern, easiest pattern to hit, but worst pattern in times of time loss for HR. Basically, HR will not end. Will not go into the sky until its attack is over. Oh, okay, started electing not to slide there. Grample dropping down. If Grample had Puff there, he would have preserved too much momentum and probably just ran. Again, I'm not sure if Starone knows about the fast fall, but he started pressing down as he entered the water, and that actually is slower than not pressing any direction. Ooh. I think we'll definitely see that in Grandpa's screen. Oh, floating a little bit early there. Yeah, right now it's looking like a roughly 1 minute lead for Sarah. Oh, Sarah going for the risky strat there, almost lost it all. That would have been really bad. Well, not really bad, it would have been bad if that broke. Grample doing the safer way of just combining for lightsaber before entering that whatsoever. Okay, so I'm not electing the slide there. Okay, but slide's there. Alright, Grample hitting the beginning of the elevator. Saves a little bit of time. Counterintuitively. Grample going into the second wave of enemies while Sarah's in the fourth. So instead of swinging lightsaber for some of these rooms, you'll just see the Kirby turn around, and that's good enough to hit the enemy. Ooh. Alright, Sarah having a pretty clean 6-3. We'll see how the Miracle Matter turns out. Alright, we'll see. Miracle Matter, you need to attack with the same power that's showing. Oh. Luckily for Cyril, gets cutter first. Can't be Spark next. Okay. I'll have to do Spark to normal. Ooh, unfortunately comes up third. Yeah, I've never seen this particular way of trying to get Spark. This might be faster. Nope. Never mind. Unfortunately, Star gets bad luck. One cycle with particular fire. Yeah, so I'm going to say that Star just did not have enough time to do the luck for Spark. Yeah, I feel like that particular strat for Bomb is, oh, unfortunately getting very bad. Very inconvenient spawn for Bomb. Yeah, a lot of them would elect to headbutt one of them just to sort of simplify the position a little bit. Oh! Oh man. Grample got good enough luck on Spark, but unfortunately didn't throw away the needle in time. Oh, going for a combination here. Let's see if this pays off. I mean, I think that particular combination is okay to go for like at any time. Yeah, so I think unless something really tragic happens to Cyril here, this should be his. Going to go for maximum. I'm not sure if the runners are watching each other's streams or anything like that, but just wants to be safe. If he were to take a death, I think that might give Grample a chance to catch up. Curious to see if Grample will go for a maximum tomato. Oh, decides to go 2 health. Alright. Well. Unfortunately, bad luck there for Zero. Unless for some reason the spike disappears really quickly, this should go to Sarah. Alright, GG. Alright, GG's to Grample as well. Let's see. Final time of 110 flat to 110.15. So ultimately, Grample managed to catch up quite a bit, but Cyril does take this. Yeah, GG's to both runners. So Sarah will advance on in winner's bracket, and Grample will drop down to losers.